The press conference.
Ah, yeah, of course, I remember. Oh, William from the press conference, yeah. That's
Oh, of course, that one, of
How
course.
are you?
You've had a chance to see the film now, so what was your reaction to it? What struck you most about it?
It's just an onslaught of visuals and ideas and tension and excitement. It's an amazing experience. It's a film that genuinely does lend itself to repeated viewings. I think you can watch it in a variety of ways. You could watch it purely for the story, you could watch it purely for the visual experience, or you could watch it to, check off the various cultural touchstones that appear on the screen, in varying degrees of obviousness.
And it struck me as both the book and the film are about a fan who's obsessed with this pop culture, is able to live his dreams and live inside the world that he knows so well. It struck me very much that it's kind of the Simon Pegg story.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I try and keep a slightly more forward-looking attitude, though, when it comes to things. I think the thing with the Oasis is that it's built by a man who cannot leave his own past, and as such, he sort of brings the future generations into that past too. He makes the future obsessed with the past, and for better or for worse, nostalgia isn't always a great thing. Sometimes it can be a little bit. It can arrest your progress in terms of moving toward the future. So I think in that respect, this is quite a cautionary tale. And by the end of it, when they're living in the real world as well, it's celebrating as much real connections as it is connections within the Oasis.
Do you think that's a view that you have through the experience that you've had? Do you find that young Simon, the Simon that was writing Spaced, would have felt the same way watching this film?
Yeah, I mean, young Simon would be very excited to be doing the things that old Simon's doing, I'm sure. But old Simon's already thinking about the next thing he wants to do rather than looking back. So young Simon was always looking to the future, but I think old Simon is too. It's very exciting to talk about myself in the third person like that. No, it's very exciting to careful. It's very exciting to be part of this. As someone who the irony of it isn't lost on me at all. That the man who directed this film is partially the reason I love cinema of this kind. That makes me feel very lucky and very privileged.
What was the best story that Steven Spielberg told you on set?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, you can't tell me. Second best?
He told me some amazing stories about shooting the scar comparing sequence in Jaws, and about shooting Indiana Jones, and casting Close Encounters. These stories were just so interesting to me. They were about something I thought I knew everything about, and so to hear them literally from the horse's mouth, though Stephen is not literally a horse, but the literal figurative horse's mouth, was a treat.
To risk giving away some spoilers, you were portraying two different types of performances here. You have the motion capture aspect of it as well. So how was that experience for you?
It was great. I feel we all appear in the virtual world as well as the real world in some capacity. With Tintin, the first film I did with Stephen, that technology was fairly nascent. I mean, it still is really, because it's ever changing and ever evolving. But this time round, what would be, I guess, 7 or 8 years later, the technology has moved on further, and the process is sort of easier and more easier to envisage. We had 3D sets to walk around. We had virtual reality goggles that we could put on and see the sets we would be in, which was amazing. So yeah, it was great to get back and do that again, having done it before.
How does acting fulfill you?
We're in the last 30 seconds.
No problem. I'll make it quick. So how does acting fulfill you in a different way than it did when you began?
It's the same, I feel like it's something that I love to do, and the challenges change, the roles change. Hopefully I get better, and the more chance I get to do it and to work with the people I admire is also a bonus. So, I want it to continue to be the thing I love to do. I always say to my kids, just find what you love doing and try and do that for a living. It's the best advice you could give anybody, I think.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Hope
Thank you,
to see you back here in Dubai.
See you back in Dubai.
All right, take care.
Signing off.